Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today, we're going to be talking about support.com, especially with the ticker SPRT. Now, in today's video, we're going to be bringing new pieces to due diligence, technical analysis, and what I think about this one. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So we did talk about SPRT before. You'll find my last video in the description below, but today we have some other news. For instance, the merger agreement has been gone through in relations towards the stockholder approval, and that has, as I said earlier, gone through. It was held back on September 10th, 2021. And they mentioned that they're very grateful for stockholders' overwhelming endorsement of the support.com merger with Greenidge. Said the CEO, or the Chief Executive Officer of support.com, and the President. We're proud of what our team has achieved and look forward to partnering with Greenidge team as we execute on our growth strategy to drive stockholder value. Now, support.com intends to file an 8K form with the SEC to fully disclose the voting results as well as other information such as the targeted closing date and the final exchange ratio in the merger when it's determined. So this is a key thing because we do need to understand a little bit better about that merger or exchange ratio, as well as perhaps the targeted closing date, as we do anticipate that this stock would most likely jump until then. And on the other part that we need to take a look at is some of their financials summaries that we did look at before. And you can see it here on my screen, you can pause it and read it. But we did talk about the company merger itself and what it entails. So support.com will continue their operations as a leader in customer and technical support solutions, delivering by home-based employees. And Greenidge will also continue its operation as Bitcoin or cryptocurrency mining. So this was the presentation. It did highlight some of Greenidge's previous information. So first here it shows you Greenidge Generation Holdings. This is support.com. They've entered into that definitive agreement. Greenidge is expected to be the only vertically integrated US publicly listed company for Bitcoin mining operation. It owns its own power plant, and it's anticipating $52 million EBITDA in 2021 and a run rate of EBITDA of $162 million in 2022, with a current hash rate of around 1.1 EHs per second and a 2022 estimated hash rate of around 2.6 EHs per second. But before moving on forward, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to click the subscribe button on the bottom right corner and leave notifications on. Also, don't forget to drop a like to this video as it helps my channel grow. Don't also forget to join our Discord, totally free. We're not trying to sell you anything on there. There's no get rich scheme in there. Now, Greenidge Generation overview, basically they started in 2014 as a part of Atlas, and then 2017 they had coal to gas conversion completion. 2018 they launched their Bitcoin mining operation, and in 2021 they raised institutional capital and executing plan to listing on the Nasdaq. Now, on other things, you're able to see, by the way, we've gone through this, I think, 2 or 3 videos before. You're able to see that their estimated EBITDA and capacity is estimated to almost double between 2021 and 2022 alone. Also, in Greenidge's history, you're able to see that back from 2019, where they only had 1 megawatt, currently estimated by 2021, estimated would be 45 megawatts. In 2020, it was around 17 megawatts. So they definitely have moved a long way from their 2019 marks and their initiation back in 2014. Now, on other things as well, you're able to see that their current hash rate is 1.1 EHs per second, which is very similar to Riot and very close to Marathon, a lot better than, for instance, Hive, and similar to Hut 8. Now, none of these other ones have captive power source, and also the exchanges aren't all on Nasdaq. Some of them are TSX, so you might have not heard about the other companies. Now, on other parts as well, their entire kind of system and strategy is about captive lower cost power, and then substantial installed base, and proven mining and power plant expertise, and rapid EBITDA growth. Now, I'm going to skip a lot of these, and if you would like to read or learn more about it, you'll have to watch 2 videos ago. But really what we're trying to go for is the pro forma capitalization. Now, if you're able to see this here, we have 69% going to Atlas, 19% going to existing institutionals and other investors, and a support.com shareholder would be 8% around here. So really, if you want to take a look at it, you probably going to grow the number of shares by, I would say, around 12 times more or 11 times more. So in that, your total shares outstanding would probably be somewhere closer to, I would say, 250 million shares rather than the currently listed 24 million shares. So that is something to continue thinking about. The pro forma for the merger and expected net cash position would be around $70 million. And we move on from this one here towards SEC filings. And an SEC filing, the last one, did hold that on September 10th, 2021, basically that was going to be the stockholder approval, and it's already approved and moved on. And then the other thing is insiders have no kind of action done in the last 90 days. Last action was done as an exercise back on the 18th of August, but no buying or selling was actually happening. The only buying that happened was all the way back in the 19th of May of 2021 at a share price of 164.9 or 1649, my bad. On the other part is short selling. Currently, there are 0 shares available for short selling borrowing. That doesn't mean there's 0 short selling flow, it's just the borrowing rate. And currently, the short borrow fee rate is unknown just because it really would depend on what broker you're using. But currently, we're able to see the short volumes are somewhere around 50% at any given day. That means half of all shares being traded is most likely going on towards the short side. Now, on the short float, you're sitting very close to 41% at a very tiny flow of around 15 million shares. There's a reason why it did squeeze up from around $8 all the way to around $60. It was quite a move, and it's really in relations towards being highly short sold and still having a very small flow. Now, could that happen again? It could. We've seen a lot of these stocks where they were triggered by short selling, where they did jump, and then afterwards, after a drop back and kind of stabilized, it jumped back up. Let's move on towards technical analysis and talk about that more. Now, from a technical analysis perspective, what we're seeing here on the moving average is the 10 SMA is above the 30 MA, and that's very bullish. And currently, the stock is between this thing called the trading action zone, and that's where most positive reversals occur. That's between the 25.16 and the 16.41. So you can expect that the stock would most likely see a reversal within these two ranges. Now, on another part is that the stock point is above both the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA. That on its own is as well bullish. The 80X is sitting at 58.83, showcasing that this one here might be on for a reversal, and you get to see that around $60, it did drop quite significantly to $20. Now, currently on the willing percent R, or which is very similar, by the way, to the relative strength index, also known as RSI, this one is highly oversold. Now, on the MACD part, we're seeing that this one here is looking very much on almost testing a negative reversal, but not there yet. And momentum is still positive, even though it decreased from around 22 to around 933. And currently on the stochastic fast and stochastic slow, you're able to see that it was quite of a drop. It might be interesting to buy at this level, as there might be another leg up based on these two indicators. Now, on the moving average bands, they're still going upwards, and the current moving average band is expected to trade for this one between the 1917 or 1970, my bad, and 1612. Now, on the other part, they're all moving upwards, indicating that this is still a strong upward trend. Now, on the Fibonacci retracements, I'm just going to highlight a few supports and resistances using this because institutional buyers are aware of this. So currently, the resistance, 2332, 3026, 3720, and the support 1473. But if we were realistically trying to find these key supports and resistances, let's do the 1 month and do a 30-minute perspective. And what we're going to find is that there is currently a very strong support at the 2069. Below there, 1863, and then downwards to 1743 1485, and then down to 1271 and 1056. Resistances, we're able to see there is currently another resistance sitting at 2267, and then upwards towards 2378, one that needs to be broken at 2610, and then following that is 2773, followed up by around 3083, going upwards to 3564, 3984, 4336, 4929, and then upwards to 60. Now, coming into the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? I do think that this one might actually surprise a lot of people by pushing backwards, or at least upwards, into some level. The closing merger date would be very exciting to know, and that might actually play an impact towards that. The entire shares would dramatically increase for sure, and that would decrease the short or shares float percentage of the short selling, and that would really lower down the potential of another short squeeze with the new amount of shares being issued. But if you're taking looking from now until then, it can actually pull ahead and do some more short squeezing or some similar plays as you've seen with other stocks. But this is, again, it's a really tough bet to make, and it's really your decision based on your risk analysis tolerance. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.